So the delimitation commission looks at two things. It takes up the constituencies that have higher proportion of scheduled castes. So if in a constituency there are higher proportion of scheduled castes, there is bound to be a reservation policy. Okay, now you can see it also spreads this constituencies in different regions. This is done because of the scheduled caste population is evenly spread throughout India. So delimitation exercise is done throughout India. Now constitution is not making such reservations, okay, but there was a strong demand from not only for seeking the reservations from not only for the women but also the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. There is also provision of seats in the Lok Sabha as well as the Rajya Sabha and as well as the local governments. Okay, the provision would require an amendment to the constitution, and this has been an amendment for years for reservation of seats in the local governments. Now this has not been passed. Okay, so this is a decision and there has been a demand. Okay, now these are in the discussion process. Now free and fair elections. Okay, the true test of any democracy is its elections. Now elections need to be good, otherwise if the elections are manipulated and there are large count of the fake votes, then our democracy will not function properly. So transparency is there, as we want transparency from the government through the RTI. So this election has also to be transparent in nature. So there is, you can see the proportion of Muslims in the population is about 14%. This is a case study type of thing, but the number of MPs is less than 6%. Okay, a similar situation prevails in most of the state assemblies. Three students drew different conclusions from the fact. First is Hilal. He drew that this shows the unfairness of the FPTP system. We should adopt the proportional representation system, not this FP for first past the post system. Arif shows this is the wisdom of granting reservation to STs, and we need a reservation policy. And Sabha cells, we need a separate quota for Muslim women. So these are some of the tests. You can agree or disagree with them. Okay, this is you will write in the comment section with which you agree, your reasons, as well as I've explained in detail these things. Universal franchise and right to contest votes. So who are voters who can contest votes? This is in our democracy that we have an universal franchise system. Means whoever who is universal, that means there is no discrimination based on caste, creed, religion or gender of the person or economic status in that, for that matter, and they have the not only the right to vote but also the right to contest elections. Okay, this is known as the franchise. We, after the independence, we got this vote, and till 1989 it was said that above the age of 21 or 21 itself, a person who will be eligible to vote. Okay, now this has been made an amendment and it is reduced to 18 years. Okay, now it ensures that people are able to participate in the political process. They also have an important role to play in the decision making, right? Many people thought that giving right to everyone irrespective was not educational qualification was not right, because a person who doesn't know how the election process that I am teaching you now, you're getting educated about it, but the person who are not able to get educated, they are poor, but still everyone should get, because we want equality of our citizens. I have told you that it is not on the basis of our economic or educational status, it is on the basis of our equality. Okay, equality. Every citizen, rich, poor, educated, uneducated, has one vote, so they also have a voice, and elections also lead to the political education of the people in some way or the other. Now in the Lok Sabha elections we have at least 25 years of age. Now in this, the videos that I have posted for the legislature, I have discussed everything in detail. Okay, and go through them. Now there is a legal provision who has undergone imprisonment for 2 or more years is disqualified from contesting elections. Okay, so a criminal case or a legal civil case is charged against him or, but there are no restrictions of income, education, class, gender. Okay, because of the sense of equality. Universal adult franchise, you can see here a photo is given. Now let us see the independent election commission. I've told you there is an election commissioner. Okay, and there are there is one chief election commissioner and two election officers. Okay, now in article 324 clause 1 it's given here, you can read this, it's from the constitution itself, but I will tell you the meaning. Now this provides the functioning of an independent election commission, and it has the right of superintending a process, directing, controlling an election. Okay, now it is very important, everything has to do with the elections. Its work is to monitor the elections. Okay, and Supreme Court has also assisted it. Now there is a chief electoral officer in every state. The election commission is not responsible for the conduct of the local body elections. Okay, now election commissioner for the national level or state level or the Lok Sabha elections. Okay, for the state elections we have the state election commissioners. Now the election commission can neither be a single member or a multi-member body. Till 1989 the election commission was a single member body, but after 1989 election there were two election commissioners, so that the power is distributed, right? So in 1993 from that it became a multi-member commission. Okay, there were many apprehensions that there was some difference of opinion between the chief election commissioner and other commissioners. Okay, who has the most amount of power? There was a disturbance, there was a discussion, right? The matter was settled by the Supreme Court. Now this, I have told you that if supposedly one member, one class monitor is there in your class, and again he is always given the right to scold somebody, right to make him quiet or do whatever he wants in the class. But if there are two members, then there should be an agreement. Now this person cannot act arbitrarily, and there should be another person who will show his mistakes and he will also show. So this is greater cooperation. More members you include, there will be more transparency, more independence of the election commissions from the executive and the jury and the legislation also. So the chief election commission presides over the election commission. Okay, so chief election commission, and it doesn't have more powers, it has equal powers as a collective body. They work, they have collective responsibility and collective functioning also. Now they are appointed by the President of the India on the advice of the Council of Ministers. Now it is possible for a ruling. So Council of Ministers are who? They are party leaders. They are elected from a party, right? So it can be a partition person, a person who is favoring the recent ruling executive can be appointed as the chief election commissioner, right? So this has led to suggest that this system should be changed. Okay, now it should make consultation with the leader of opposition and Chief Justice of India on the appointment of this election commissioners. Now we come, this is a talk, right? This is a different methods that has been suggested. The constitution ensures the security of the tenure of the CEC and election commissioners. They are appointed for a 6-year term and continue till the age of 65, or earlier they can be before the expiry. How they can be removed? If the president and both houses of the parliament make such recommendation. So this ensures that a ruling party cannot remove a chief election commissioner who refuses to favor in its elections. Okay, so who can remove them? Both the houses of the parliament. Okay, the election commissioner removal process is a very difficult one. Okay, now let us see this. Now let us see the special majority. What does this mean? The 2/3 majority of those who present and voting, and simple majority of the total membership of the house, okay, of the specific house. And here 2/3 majority of this, for example, Lok Sabha 2/3 members, and Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha 2/3 members, okay. Now this you will find a mention of this topic in at least 3 chapters. So when we will discuss this impeachment, we will see how a special majority vote works, and this helps. Now we will see what is the function of the election commission in India actually. So he or she needs to make a voters list who will vote. There are always addition of new candidates and omission of candidates, okay. It makes every effort that the voters list is free from errors, okay. So if somebody is existing but his name is not written in the voters list and he or she is eligible to vote, this is unfair, right? So this mistake should not be done. The election commissioner takes care of it, takes a note of it. Now determines the timings of the elections, the schedule of the elections, the filing nominations, like whom members you are choosing, the last date of scrutiny of the votes if there are no fake votes, right, and the date of polling and counting of the results, and also the declaration, okay. During this process, the election commissioner has the power to take decisions to ensure a free and fair poll, so that there are no fake votes, okay. Now there is a specific procedure that are to be followed, pre-poll, both, and post-poll also, okay. Now there can be re-elections in a specific constituency if the election commission as a whole thinks that this election has been manipulated or is unfair, right. Now we come to this election process. Now during the elections, the administrative officers, that the election officers, they always do this duty. They maintain that there is peace in the region of the voting or the constituency. The election commissioner has become an independent authority which is exercising its power in the unbiased manner. So the election commission shows that every improvement of the functioning doesn't require a legal or constitutional change, okay. Always we have to make amendments. We don't require always a legal change, okay, amendment to the constitution. Now it has been said that it was more independent because the powers and constitution protection also have increased, and they can effectively use their power, so they don't have fears, okay. Now since 1951-52, 17 Lok Sabha elections have been held, okay, till today. Now many more state assembly elections have been conducted, and holding elections in a militancy affected areas like Jammu Kashmir, it has faced the difficult situation. Sometimes he has to stop the votes, re-elect, so they have to maintain the whole process goes free and fair. Now when Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated in 2002, the Gujarat Assembly was dissolved, okay. In 1991, here when Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated, the 99 elections were postponed, and also in 2002 the Gujarat Assembly was dissolved, okay. Now found that there has been many violence in the state, so it was difficult for them to hold and elect free and fair elections. They have the power to postpone elections, whether it is state or Lok Sabha elections. Now we come to the electoral reforms that are required in India. So we have seen how elections are there in India, so it is very important for us to see how there are the electoral reforms. Now no system of election is perfect, as we have seen there are some disadvantages of each system, okay. Now in a democratic society, people always are involved in discussion, so they keep searching for the answers for the holding of the adult suffrage, and also the establishment of an independent commissions that will supervise the elections. Now India has tried to make this process free past 66 years. There are many suggestions that in this way our election system can be improved. Now the election system commission, political parties have come up with proposals, so we will discuss this proportion should be changed. See, our system should be changed to the proportional representation system, so the smaller parties will get vote. In the previous video I have discussed this in detail, you can watch them right now. There should be special provision so that 1/3 of the women are elected to the parliament. Okay, so there should be a reservation. Okay, control of muscle and money power in the politics. Now candidates with criminal cases pending, they should be barred from receiving elections, from contesting elections, I mean. Now there should be ban of the use of caste and religious appeals in the campaign. Like if you elect us, we will create a nation that will upheld this religion, that will make a religion. Now this thing is very bad, caste based discrimination in the systems, we have seen that. Now there should be no religious appeals. Okay, we are a diverse nation, we need to respect each religion, we need to work for everyone, no discrimination as said by our constitution. Now they should be in a transparent and democratic manner. Okay, there should not be any hiding, like this is the, so there is something called the electoral roll, so it hides completely that a person gets the money from a particular company or business. So this is can sometimes be misused also, because people should see that how much money the campaigning is costing. Okay, now there is suggestions like the laws can be implemented properly in order to hold free and fair elections. Okay, now there should be a free political struggle in our democracy, right? Now people themselves have to be more vigilant in the political activities. They should see whether their developmental ambitions are unrealistic in nature or not. Okay, they should vote in a good manner, they should vote without any discrimination based on caste, okay, or religion or gender. Okay, now it is necessary that various political parties are developed and acting, and they should bring the required reforms. They should pressurize the government into bringing the required reforms. So to conclude, in a representative democracy, our elections are very important, both at the state and the national level. Okay, there has been a continuous rise in the number of parties and the candidates. This has system of election that we are following, direct or indirect. This has been a good type of election. This has been accommodative in nature. It is including everyone because of the reservations also. So any social category is not left out. Now the election outcome doesn't reflect electoral practices. There has been many attempts at manipulating the voters. Okay, there has been many complaints that the voters' name disappeared. There is nothing called this transparency. Okay, this is the problems that we are facing, but elections are very important. Now the voter in India has gained confidence because we are not discriminating in case of the votes. This was taken into account when our constitution was made. So more effective we need to make our constitution and our democracy through the elections. So these are the question answers. Now National Voters Day, there is a day called the National Voters Day. What we are abiding, see, we need to say this: we the citizens of India, having abiding faith in democracy, hereby pledge to uphold the democratic traditions of our country and the dignity of free, fair and peaceful elections, and to vote in every election fearlessly and without being influenced by considerations of religion, caste, community, and language or any inducement. We should see the development of the country, right, altogether. So this is our chapter. Thank you for watching.